Hang up on him, cuz. Ain't no shit.
I'm finna call you right back.
The crew known as 4KT went live acting like YoungBoy didn't even exist. Now, alleged footage of his people trying to take down Top is shaking the internet like crazy. But here's the truth. The story runs way deeper than what's floating around online.
Man, just rep anything, man. Just say you something, and then you good.
I'm 4K trained.
Rakai, what the fuck?
We're talking real tension, federal cases, and a street feud that's been simmering way too long. That live stream had the whole scene buzzing nonstop. It wasn't edited or hyped up with filters. It was raw, shaky, and straight from the source. No flashy captions, no fancy setups, just uncut footage that felt way too real to be a joke.
You got him and Quando, and a lot of with dirt, so a lot of...
The moment it hit people's feeds, everyone who knows how the streets move stopped scrolling and leaned in hard.
Cause I ain't gonna with YoungBoy cause they with dirt. I feel like can't no who say they no street be in the middle.
They started whispering, hold up, this don't sound like entertainment. Because when you actually listen, you can feel the pressure in the tone, the coded talk, the urgency. It all points to something that went wrong behind the scenes. This wasn't just talk, it was the sound of something real boiling over.
The new me, for people who may not know, is like the new and improved, the more clean version, and like the more focused Bruce Shiesty.
Remember this date? December 5th, 2025. That's the day Esty hopped on live and had the whole internet going wild with just his words and energy.
Clearer vision, I can see clearer now. Like, I got it. It's my second run. Like a second chance, for real.
He spoke like someone who's been through it and still stands solid, showing loyalty the real ones recognize instantly. Picture it. Ben Dadon's platform, and Shetty just got home from the feds, barely 2 months out after doing 3 years in USP Canaan on a 5-year sentence. My guy was feeling himself heavy.
A lot of good habits I picked up in there. Yeah, some I gotta tighten up some more, but you know, for sure, like working out, there's one. Never worked out before, never. But working out, there's one. Reading.
And rightfully so. He held it down, stayed quiet when others would have folded fast, and that alone had everyone tuned in. Solid. That's the only word for it. When most people would have folded under pressure, he stood tall and came back swinging, ready to reclaim everything the system tried to take from him. The chat was exploding like fireworks. Thousands of fans jumping in, spamming comments, trying to catch a glimpse of their guy in real time.
Reading, I wasn't just too much of a fan of picking up books, but I read all day long. But reading, I got my reading game up in there.
The energy, unmatched. It was electric, wild, and full of that fresh out the gate excitement that only hits when someone finally touches the free world again. But then, boom!
Knowing how to like choose between rational and irrational decisions, you know? Just decision making and thinking before I act. Working on my temper. It's a lot of knowing how to communicate. I learned how to communicate.
The whole vibe flipped in seconds. Out of nowhere, 3 letters started flooding the chat. 4KT, 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 over and over again.
I spoke to Dirk, but unfortunately it was like under these circumstances that where we couldn't really just talk like that, because in a minute he'll be able to talk more, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I reached out for him, I hit India up, told her she can ask me whatever she needs, you know what I'm saying? Tell brother call me every time, like I'm gonna pick up their phone for sure, whatever it is.
That's NBA YoungBoy's crew, his day ones. The hitters who wave that green flag from Louisiana all the way across the map. Whenever Top's music drops, they're the heartbeat behind it. Now here's what made that moment heavy. Throwing those 3 letters in that live wasn't just random trolling. Nah, this was a straight up test, a bold move. Somebody wanted to see how Shetty was gonna respond now that he was back on the streets, where every word you say can carry real consequences. And bro's response, ice cold. He acted like he never even heard of 4KT before.
But I've been saying for ages that incident in Waycross, Georgia in May 2021, where a bunch of guys shot up Quando Rondo in his car 100 times. I've been saying that had something to do with the beef with the BDs from Chicago.
Just kept saying who, like NBA YoungBoy's whole movement, the millions of fans, the platinum plaques, the massive street following, didn't even exist to him. It was like he deleted the whole name out of his mind. The chat went insane, spamming emojis and reactions nonstop. But what they didn't realize was that the real drama.
See, for me, because I'm such a Dirkologist and I've been following this stuff for so long, I've been thinking that there's 6 murders that Dirk might have something to do with. Like, So this new paperwork for the first time, and I've literally been saying this for years. It doesn't give me too much pleasure to say I was right about this.
The real smoke was only just starting to build. That's when the streamer, the one running the whole thing, decided to jump on the call, and what happened next had the entire internet talking for weeks. Everyone's still replaying that moment frame by frame, trying to figure out what really went down. See, Shetty had been on that stream the whole time, holding one clear position, riding hard for Lil Durk. Every sentence, every reaction, it all screamed loyalty. He kept shouting out Durk, calling him solid, making it clear that his support for Smirk was locked in and untouchable. Nobody could question his stance, nobody could shake it.
A couple words of wisdom from somebody that been in it, you know what I'm saying, and know it firsthand. That ain't what's up in there, bro. All the image and the facades and the faking and the street notoriety, that is not worth it. Ain't nothing worth.
At one point, he even snapped on a fan, a female viewer who said she didn't mess with Lil Durk. He went off, warning her to take your picture before you get beat up. That moment right there showed this wasn't for clout, it was real deal loyalty. That blood in, blood out type of commitment that you just can't fake, no matter how good your acting is. So when Rahi suddenly joined the call and casually said, "I'm 4KT,"
leaving this and going in there, and ain't nothing worth not leaving that in there, coming back out here, you know what I'm saying? So just stay focused, man, get this money and keep working and take care of this opportunity that we got to provide for all our people.
Everything froze instantly. The energy flipped in seconds. The same chat that was hyped up a minute ago went dead silent like everyone was holding their breath. Remember, Shetty had been downplaying and disrespecting YoungBoy's whole squad for hours before that, so Rahi dropping 4KT right then, that hit different. And of course, the internet went wild.
One word to describe me is unstoppable. Of course, because I can't be stopped, you know what I'm saying? CBFW type, you know what's going on, so.
That clip spread faster than anything else that week. Everywhere you looked, it was there. Twitter, or X, whatever it's called now, exploded with reposts. Instagram reels were popping up by the hundreds. TikTok creators were racing to be first to break down every single second of that call.
Like, that's a big word for me, you know, because it's like, it got two words in it, if you pay attention. Like, it's unstopped and A.
And nobody could agree on who came out on top. The whole hip-hop world locked in on this drama and refused to let go. It became the new obsession online. Memes everywhere, reactions non-stop, and debates blowing up every comment section.
I always wanted to be a rapper. This was always my dream. I never had a plan B. This is what I was set on becoming. That's what it was.
But here's what most people missed in all that noise. This moment didn't just appear out of nowhere. Nah, this was years in the making. A chain reaction sparked by betrayal, tension, and real street losses going back to November 2020.
Oh, fuck you. I tell them all that I'm balling. Hey, what up? Fuck you. And bitch, I catch y'all off you, bitch. Believe it. That pussy nigga gonna stop, man.
But you got me so turned up, man.
I'm turned up in this bitch too. They know how it's gonna turn.
See, whether Rahi realized it or not, he had just stepped straight into the middle of one of the most dangerous and emotional beefs in modern hip-hop. The smoke came for him quick. No delay, no warning. The first person to speak up was Kayla B, King Von's sister. And when she talks, people pay attention fast. She called Rahi out publicly, saying he was being disrespectful and careless with his words, especially when they touched Von's legacy.
Do you speak French? You speak French? I like your outfit. What are you wearing? What are you wearing today?
She made it clear that comments like that just pour more gas on a fire that's already out of control. And the thing is, she wasn't wrong. Von's name isn't just another part of this feud. He's the reason it even exploded the way it did. His passing back in November 2020 turned what started as simple online tension into an all-out street-level conflict that hasn't cooled off since. So now, after that live blew up, Rice suddenly found himself labeled as public enemy #1 to OTF's entire fan base and
NLE
affiliates.
Choppa.
The pressure got heavy fast, and he had no choice but to start cleaning things up.
Okay.
What do you wear?
I'm simple. Easy. Thank you, Bob.
And be a please, can I have a picture? Just one.
He dropped an apology to Shetty first, saying he didn't mean to spark any awkwardness. Then came a more serious, heartfelt apology to Kayla B, admitting he moved reckless and wasn't thinking about how deep his words cut. He said he learned his lesson, that he finally understood the weight behind those 4KT letters he threw out so casually before. But by the time those apologies hit the net, it was already too late. The internet had its villain, and the damage was done.
Oh, you.
Gang, that line in the sand got carved even deeper after all this. And you already know, NBA YoungBoy, aka Top, wasn't about to let any of that slide without firing back. He jumped on his own live, tossing out slick warnings aimed straight at Shetty, calling out rappers who use streams to stir up fake beef and chase clout. It was subtle, but everybody knew exactly who he meant.
Thank you.
I think you want to go?
I love you so much. Free boy.
YoungBoy's never been one to back down from tension, and he made sure everyone understood. He saw what was happening, and he wasn't impressed one bit. That's just Top's nature. When someone throws shade, he answers it loud enough for the whole internet to hear. And then his affiliates jumped in too. NLE Choppa, now going by NLE the Great, decided to pour gas on the fire when he dropped his track KO in October 2025. The track came with wild visuals, a fake decapitated head and all, clearly taking aim at YoungBoy.
Thank you. NBA.
The imagery was shocking, the message was crystal clear, and suddenly everyone was debating where the line between art and a real threat even existed anymore. The whole internet was tense. It didn't feel like a rap beef anymore. It felt personal. Even 21 Savage, one of the few rappers both sides actually respect, had to step in with some real talk.
Attends, vas-y, attends. Hey, NBA, what's up? Okay.
He spoke on how tough it is for artists caught in the middle of this feud, explaining that when two camps this powerful are going at it, there's no such thing as staying neutral. Because in this game, there's no Switzerland. You can't just chill in between, can't collab with everybody, can't keep it friendly on both sides. Eventually, you gotta pick your lane, stand with your crew, and accept whatever comes with that choice. No excuses, no second chances. And for Shetty, that choice was made a long time ago. That December live stream wasn't random. It was his loud reminder to the world about where he stands, who he rides for, and that he's not switching up now or ever. No cap.
Hey, can you say massa?
Massa.
Massa?
What's mean?
Say it one more time.
Massa, what's mean? Thank you, like you're happy.
Just days after that viral live shook the whole internet, Shetty dropped FDO, First Day Out, on December 12th, 2025. The track ran for over 5 straight minutes. No hook, no breaks, just non-stop bars. Every line hit with aggression, and fans instantly started breaking it down, catching what sounded like subliminal shots at unnamed ops. It wasn't just music, it was a message, a declaration. This was Shetty telling the world he wasn't here to make peace. He was here to remind everybody that prison didn't break him. It only made him sharper, colder, and twice as focused. The tone was clear. I'm back, and I didn't come home to shake hands. Every lyric carried that same energy, raw and unfiltered, proving that he's still ready to stand on everything he said before. But to really understand why that moment hit so deep, we gotta rewind the story. We gotta look at where all this tension really started, because this war didn't just pop up overnight. It's been brewing for years. To get the full picture, you gotta trace it back to the roots, the spark that lit one of hip-hop's biggest rivalries ever. We're talking about Lil Durk and NBA YoungBoy, two giants whose paths collided in ways that flipped the culture upside down. Their feud isn't just about words on wax, it's about loyalty, loss, and legacy. It's a conflict that's left scars across the industry, taken real lives and pulled in countless people from both camps. And now it's so deep that almost everyone connected to them has to pick a side or risk getting caught in the crossfire. And let's start with the man who earned Shetty's loyalty. Lil Durk, real name Derek Banks, born October 19th, 1992, straight out of Chicago, Illinois. He came up in Inglewood on the city's south side, one of the roughest zones in America where poverty and violence were part of everyday life. That environment shaped him, built him, and turned him into the artist and leader he is today. Durk's story started with pain from the jump. His pops got locked up for life on drug charges when Durk was just 7 months old, leaving his mom to raise him and his siblings on her own. The streets quickly became his classroom and the block became his family. Every loss, every hard lesson, it shaped him into who he is today. Out of that struggle, Dirk built OTF, Only the Family, is back in 2010. What started as a close crew turned into a full-blown label, putting on some of Chicago's hardest and most authentic drill artists. And one of those artists was a young powerhouse named Davon Daquan Bennett, better known to the world as King Von. Von wasn't just signed to OTF, he was family. Dirk rode for Von like a brother, through everything, and that bond showed in their loyalty to each other. Von's energy, his storytelling, and his raw emotion made him stand out instantly. He wasn't just another rapper, he was the voice of the trenches. Meanwhile, a whole different movement was rising down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A young talent named Kentrell Deshaun Gaulden, better known as NBA YoungBoy, was building his empire from the dirt up. His sound was emotional and aggressive, connecting with millions of fans who felt his pain and respected his grind. YoungBoy didn't wait on the industry. He flooded the game with project after project, never letting his buzz fade for a second. His crew, Never Broke Again, built a reputation for loyalty, power, and unshakable unity that stretched from Baton Rouge to every corner of the map. The first real tension between OTF and NBA's camp actually started over something small, what most people would call petty now. King Von started dating Jania Meshel, who just happened to be YoungBoy's ex. That move lit up social media fast, sparking shade, disses, and a few slick photo posts clearly meant to push buttons. The tension between both camps started heating up fast. They kept trading subliminals and slick lines, those indirect shots that fans love to decode. It had all the makings of a classic rap rivalry, the kind that usually stays on wax and never goes past lyrics. But then November 6, 2020 came, the night that changed everything. That night, King Von was at Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta when things took a dark turn. A run-in happened with Quando Rondo, an artist signed under NBA YoungBoy's Never Broke Again label. What started as words turned into chaos within seconds. Surveillance footage caught a scuffle that escalated into gunfire. 6 people were hit and 2 lost their lives, including King Von, who was only 26 years old. Authorities later identified Timothy Lul Tim Leaks, part of Quando Rondo's crew, as the shooter. He was arrested, bonded out in 2021, and by 2023, the charges were dropped. The entire hip-hop world was in shock. Von wasn't just another rapper, he was one of drill music's most gifted storytellers, someone who turned pain into poetry. Losing him that young hit deep, not just for Chicago, but for everyone who respected his come-up. But what made the loss even heavier was how it happened. A clash with affiliates from a rival camp. That single moment flipped the entire situation from online trolling to real-life tragedy. What once was just petty back and forth turned into something way more serious, way more dangerous, and way more permanent. Then came the part that really split the culture. NBA YoungBoy publicly stood by Quando Rondo. He signed him officially, defended him online, and never distanced himself from the situation. That move was seen by many as a straight-up challenge, a message that he wasn't backing down and that he was standing with his team no matter what. For Lil Durk and OTF, that was the moment the line was crossed for good. At that point, this wasn't about rap anymore. It was about blood, loyalty, and respect. The tension had gone way past lyrics and streams. Every move meant something, every word carried weight, and the streets were watching to see who would make the next move. The diss track started flying almost instantly. Quando Rondo dropped End of Story in November 2020, claiming self-defense and standing firm that he wasn't apologizing for anything. The track only poured more gas on the fire. Then NBA YoungBoy jumped in with Bring the Hook in January 2022, spitting bars that hit like direct disrespect toward Von and his people. Yeah, this that Squid Game, oh block pack get rolled up. That line felt like a straight taunt about Von's hood and his death. And for a lot of fans, that crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. Lil Durk didn't stay quiet either. Just a month later, he came back with Ah Ha, firing back at YoungBoy with bars about his legal problems and personal life. It was cold, sharp, and full of energy. The kind of track that made it clear Durk wasn't ducking smoke from anybody. YoungBoy responded with I Hate YoungBoy, a full-on diss record that didn't hold back at all. He went after Durk's family, Von's legacy, and anyone tied to OTF. The tension was so thick you could feel it through every post, every lyric, every reaction video online. And Durk turned the heat up even more. He rented a billboard in Baton Rouge, right in YoungBoy's own hometown, as a public taunt. That move took the feud from the internet to the streets for real. The message was loud and clear. This was no longer just music. This was war. But underneath all those songs and subliminals, something darker was brewing. On August 20th, 2022, Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pab, Savion Robinson, was shot and killed at a gas station in West Hollywood. At first, people thought it was just another tragic shooting, another reminder of how violence follows rappers like a shadow. The whole plan went left when the shooters hit Quando Rondo's cousin instead of the actual target. Everything spiraled from there. On October 24th, 2024, Lil Durk got arrested in Florida on federal murder-for-hire charges, and the news hit the internet like a bomb. 5 other OTF members were indicted alongside him, all accused of being part of the same plot. According to prosecutors, Durk allegedly tried to skip the country once he caught wind that the feds were closing in. The picture they painted was wild. They claimed OTF wasn't just a label, but a full-blown criminal network capable of organizing hits across state lines. The evidence they bragged about sounded straight out of a movie. Private jets, heavy artillery, and plans that stretched from city to city. They said it was more than street beef. This was organized crime, operating under the image of a successful rap empire. Durk's bail denied, not once but multiple times throughout 2025. The trial, which was supposed to start back in January 2025, kept getting delayed because the case was so deep. New evidence, new names, and new twists kept surfacing every few months. Then a superseding indictment dropped, stacking even more charges on top of the originals. And it didn't stop there. Reports of witness tampering plus threats made against both the judge and the prosecutor made the entire case even messier. What started as rap competition had turned into one of the most high-profile legal battles in hip-hop history. Now Durk, one of the biggest artists in the game, is facing the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars. And this is the same man that Pooh Shetty has been riding for nonstop, showing loyalty no matter what. So when people saw 4KT popping up in that chat, it wasn't just trolling. It was symbolic. It hit deep because behind those 3 letters lies years of pain, loyalty, and street politics that go way beyond music. That 4KT mention wasn't just some random internet joke, it was a loaded provocation. Behind those 3 letters sits a history full of loss, federal charges, and years of rising tension that's already taken lives and could sadly take more before it's over. So when Shetty brushed off YoungBoy's whole movement like it didn't matter, that wasn't simple disrespect. That was a statement. He was making it loud and clear which side he stood on in a war that's been claiming names for years. And that's exactly why those new rumors, the ones about supposed footage of attempted hits, feel so believable to people watching this all play out. Even though the clips haven't been verified, fans can't help but believe there's something real behind the smoke. The energy surrounding this beef is too charged, too personal, too deep-rooted to dismiss as simple drama. Now that we've broken down the live stream moment and the long, messy history that led to it, it's time to shift the spotlight to the man in the middle of all this chaos, Pooh Shetty himself. Born Lontrell Donald Williams Jr. on November 8th, 1999 in Memphis, Tennessee, Shetty's come-up mirrors parts of both Lil Durk and NBA YoungBoy's journeys. He came out of the Cane Creek Apartments in South Memphis, one of the city's most active and intense neighborhoods, a place known for both its heavy crime and its deep musical roots. Shetty's roots in the game go way back. His dad, known as Mob Boss, was a rapper and the founder of Mob Ties Records. So yeah, music was literally in his blood from day one, but Shetty didn't jump straight into following his father's footsteps. Before he started taking rap seriously, the streets shaped him first, teaching him how fast things can change and how loyalty can mean everything in a world that moves at lightning speed. Instead of chasing rap dreams early, Shetty spent his teenage years surviving the rough streets of Memphis, learning the hard lessons that would later shape every lyric he wrote. The struggle, the gang politics, the constant fight to stay alive, all of it built the grit and hunger that you can still hear in his voice today. When he finally decided to pick up the mic around 18 years old, something just clicked. His sound wasn't polished or studio made, it was raw, uncut, and 100% Memphis. You could feel the authenticity in every bar. It wasn't about trying to sound like anybody else, it was about telling his story exactly how it happened. By 2020, the wave had officially started. Tracks like Monday to Sunday were catching fire online, spreading through the streets and blowing up social media feeds. The buzz got so strong that Gucci Mane himself noticed and quickly moved in to sign Shetty to his 1017 Records label. Then came the real breakthrough. His debut mixtape, Shiesty Season, dropped in 2021 and shot straight up the Billboard 200, peaking at number 3. That signature growl, that blurred ad-lib everyone recognizes, became a stamp of his presence on any track he touched. But the song that really stamped his name in the game? Back in Blood, his collab with Lil Durk. The record exploded, going 8 times platinum, and not only putting Shetty in the spotlight, but also solidifying his bond with OTF on a national level. But as always, success came with complications. On October 9th, 2020, in Bay Harbor Islands near Miami, things took a dark turn. Reports say Shetty and his crew arranged a meetup at the Landon Hotel, supposedly to buy sneakers and weed, but what happened next would end up changing his entire life and career forever. That deal went bad in seconds. Prosecutors claim Shetty's crew flipped the script and tried to rob the sellers at gunpoint. Shots rang out, chaos broke loose, and 2 people ended up hit. Shetty reportedly peeled off in a rented McLaren, but the getaway didn't last long. He crashed it not far from the scene, leaving behind the kind of evidence that would come back to haunt him big time. Inside the car, investigators said they found a Louis Vuitton bag stuffed with around $40,000 in cash. And here's the crazy part. The serial numbers on that money matched the same bills he had been flexing on Instagram just hours before. That one detail made the case almost impossible to fight. Then things got even messier. In June 2021, at King of Diamonds in Miami, another incident went down. Reports said Shetty allegedly fired a shot that hit a security guard. By January 2022, the walls were closing in, and Shetty pled guilty to federal firearms conspiracy charges. The judge handed him 63 months. That's 5 years and 3 months in federal prison. For most rappers, a sentence like that would be career-ending. The industry doesn't wait. Fans move on, new stars take the spotlight, and momentum fades fast. But Shetty wasn't most rappers. He had something powerful keeping his name alive: Lil Durk. Durk stayed shouting him out at every show, every interview, every chance he got. Free Pooh Shiesty became a chant fans yelled across the country. That loyalty kept Shetty's name alive while he was behind the wall, reminding everyone that Memphis still had a major player waiting to come home. Then finally, on October 7th, 2025, Shetty touched down, released early thanks to good behavior and credit for time served before trial. The moment that news dropped, social media lit up instantly. Everyone knew his return meant the streets and the rap game were about to get loud again. When Shetty walked out those gates, he wasn't broken, he was reborn. Not weaker, but sharper. Not forgotten, but celebrated by millions of fans who had been counting down the days for his return. His release felt like an event. The internet lit up, and everyone was waiting to see what his next move would be. In his first big interview after coming home, Shetty opened up about how prison changed him. He talked about the growth, the focus, the discipline. He said he spent his time reading books, working out, and learning how to think before reacting, turning that same fire he always had into something more controlled, more powerful. But what hit hardest was when he spoke about Lil Durk. He described the letters they exchanged, the talks they had, and the bond that grew even tighter while both were locked away. That's not industry loyalty, that's real loyalty. The kind that's built through pressure, silence, and time. That connection between them became unshakable. And that's exactly what makes Shetty's current position so risky. Because here's the truth most people already know but don't want to say out loud. Shetty's walking a razor-thin line right now. He's out here dropping hard-hitting tracks, sending subtle shots, and publicly siding with Durk, a man still tangled up in heavy federal charges. At the same time, Shetty himself is on supervised release with an ankle monitor, which limits where he can go and who he can be around. One wrong move, even one link up the feds could twist into evidence, could flip everything for him all over again. The world's watching and everyone knows it. One slip and everything Shetty's fought to rebuild could disappear in an instant. All it would take is one slip up, one wrong move that violates his release terms, and Shetty could end up right back where he started, behind those same walls he fought so hard to escape. That's how serious his situation is right now. But let's clear up what actually kicked off this whole latest wave of chaos. Those viral footage claims everyone's been talking about. Here's the truth, gang. After digging through everything out there, the facts just don't back up the hype. There's no confirmed, widely circulated footage of Shetty's affiliates trying to move on NBA YoungBoy or anyone from his camp. What's really out there is mostly speculation, a mix of clickbait videos, online debates, and street gossip that's been spinning nonstop ever since Shetty came home. Some clips talk about supposed footage or new evidence, but when you actually watch them, no real proof ever shows up. It's all talk, no receipts. Still, the reason those rumors feel so believable is because the violence surrounding this feud has been very real. Too real. We've already seen what this tension can lead to, and everyone knows that in situations like this, whispers can travel faster than facts. Even respected voices have started unpacking it all. Trap Lore Ross, one of the top documentarians covering this entire saga, recently broke down the scope of what prosecutors are digging into. According to his breakdown, the feds are allegedly trying to connect 6 more violent incidents to Dirk's camp, OTF6, painting an even darker picture of what might have been happening behind the scenes. And here's the part that really set the internet on fire. Paperwork from the case suggests there might be a confidential informant working with the feds, someone high up inside OTF itself. That claim alone sent fans spiraling, trying to figure out who could possibly be talking and whether the crew might be falling apart from the inside. 21 Savage came out and admitted that all his efforts to make peace between YoungBoy and Lil Durk completely failed, and he didn't sugarcoat it. He said it straight. There's been too much bloodshed, too many lives lost, and way too much pain for either side to sit down now. It's past the point of peace. And yet, even with all that chaos as the federal charges, the street losses, and the endless cycle of revenge, Shetty dropped a few lines near the end of his big interview that hit different. He spoke like someone who's done real time and finally realized where this path leads. His words showed that at least mentally, he understands the truth, that staying stuck in this war only brings pain and destruction, not wins. Real talk, gang, those were some deep, reflective words. The kind of words you only get from someone who spent years behind bars thinking about what actually matters. Growth like that doesn't come easy, and hearing him say it gave fans a glimpse of maturity, of a man who's seen enough to know what's at stake. But here's the big question everyone's asking. Do his words match his actions? Because while Shetty talks about moving smarter, his moves outside tell a different story. The bold lyrics, the constant shots at 4KT, and his public loyalty to a man fighting life in prison, all that shows how complicated this world really is. This feud isn't just rap beef anymore. It's a living example of how entertainment can collide with real-life danger. In this game, loyalty isn't just a word, it's a decision. Once you pick your side, you ride for it, no matter what comes with it. Social media has made everything move faster. Every post, every rumor, every clip spreads like wildfire, turning whispers into headlines in seconds. And when you mix that speed with deep street ties, the stakes shoot way beyond chart positions or streaming numbers. This isn't just about music anymore, it's about survival. That footage everyone's buzzing about, it might exist, or it might just be smoke and mirrors, clickbait made to rack up views instead of giving people the truth. But the real danger? The tension building behind the scenes? That's not a rumor, that's reality. The threat of things spiraling again, more lives lost, more careers ending, more cells filling up. That's the world these artists are living in every single day. And when Shetty described himself in one word, unstoppable, it hit different. Because in this climate, being unstoppable isn't just about fame or strength, it's about endurance. It's about surviving a world where the feds are stacking RICO cases on rap crews, where affiliates are getting caught in deadly ambushes, and where even showing up in the wrong city can turn dangerous. So yeah, being unstoppable ain't just a flex anymore, it's a prayer. This story, it's far from over, gang. The streets are still talking, the blogs are still watching, and the next move could change everything all over again. If you're locked in with this story and want more breakdowns like this, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. We've got more wild stories, deep dives, and street-level breakdowns coming your way real soon. See you in the next one. Stay safe, stay smart, and keep your eyes open.